Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a proud representative of the top blueberry producing state in the country, I'm delighted to be able to speak on this amendment. In communities like mine, Mr. Chairman, we have seen the success of the Section 514 loans program that are provided to buy, to build, to improve, and to repair housing for farm laborers. But despite the investment we have provided to ensure housing for these workers, those legally admitted temporary laborers, such as H-2A workers, continue to remain ineligible to use this housing. H-2A employment has doubled over the past 4 years around the country, and I think will likely continue to grow in the coming years. Section 514 loans should reflect that reality, Mr. Chairman, and not exclude these workers from utilizing housing that is intended for farm laborers. Now, as we have seen a decrease in domestic workers seeking jobs in agriculture, we have seen an increase in H-2A workers, thus creating Section 514 housing that is going underutilized. So my amendment is simple. It would allow Section 514 housing to be used for both domestic as well as H-2A workers in situations where housing units are currently unoccupied or underutilized. And for this reason, and also because this is my very first amendment in front of the full committee, I would ask the committee to adopt this important amendment.
Sounds like some good reasons here to do something, right? Mr. Adderholtz, thank you, Mr. Newhouse. Mr. Adderholtz recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise in support of the amendment. I am very sensitive to the changing demographics in the labor market, and farmers are restricted on types of workers. They can stay in farm housing despite the continual need for workers to prune and to harvest crops. I understand that providing housing is one of the biggest cost impediments for growers trying to hire legal foreign workers through the H-2A program. I am supportive of this amendment, as I mentioned, if it is submitted with the accompanying report language that would prohibit the displacement of any domestic worker, and the amendment would only apply to situations where units are currently unoccupied or underutilized. And with that, I would urge my colleagues to support the gentleman's amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Adderholtz. Mr. Bishop's recognized.
I thank the gentleman for offering the amendment. We have an unmet need for housing for legal farm workers in this country, and certainly in my district, which is highly agricultural, the need for farm workers who are migrant and who would benefit from this housing is great. And so I applaud the gentleman for offering this amendment, and I certainly support it.
Mr. Cuellar, you're going to put a plug in for blueberries, aren't you?
Mr. Chairman, then again, thank you so much. I want to thank the Chairman, Mr. Eldhart, and the Ranking Member. And certainly I want to thank Mr. Newhouse. My father and mother were migrant workers, so I know what it is when they have to go work, and if they don't have the proper housing, it's going to be very difficult for them. I appreciate the balance. You know, you take care of the people that are here, and then, of course, the other folks are here legally. So I know this is acceptable. I just want to say on a personal basis from my parents, I really appreciate this amendment. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Cuellar. Mr. Newhouse, right to close. Any further comments? Otherwise, we'll move right ahead. Questions on the amendment? All those in favor of the Newhouse amendment, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment is agreed to. Ms. Allard, excuse me.
Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment